Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of our Great Northern Adventure, which is all about Glacier National Park. Now, I'm from Colorado, and the mountains there are magnificent, and I thought they were the greatest until I saw the ones in Wyoming, and then I saw the ones in Montana, and then I saw the ones in Glacier National Park, which is now my favorite U.S. national park so far. And today, I'm going to take you with me as I navigate the camping around both sides of the park, go over the Going to the Sun Road, and take you finally to the Canadian border. The important thing to know about Glacier National Park is there are really two sides to the park. There is the east side and the west side, and they are totally different from each other. Finding camping around or in Glacier National Park can be difficult because it is extremely popular. So I did a bunch of research because I'm still with my friend Kim on this leg of the trip, and she has a massive bus and a tow car. We scored when we found the Red Eagle Campground, which is near Cut Bank, Montana. This is a Blackfeet tribal campground on their ancestral land. And when I found it online, I was a little worried because there were so many open spots, but it's right near the Two Medicine entrance to the park. I think the reason is because they really don't have any pictures. So we went sight unseen, and it ended up being absolutely magnificent. This was the place that we stayed for a few days while we visited Glacier National Park. Just know that if you camp over at Red Eagle and the Two Medicine entrance to the park, that entrance is a dead end. You cannot get into the rest of the park from there, and that epitomizes Glacier. It's one of those places that you just can't get there from here. The Continental Divide runs through the middle of Glacier National Park, creating two distinct environments. On the east side, where we left from, it's dry, windy, with lots of forests and meadows and mountains. But when you go over Logan Pass, all of a sudden, Glacier National Park becomes wetter. It's a rainforest with dense, lush vegetation and cedar hemlock forests. The west side of Glacier is also known for these beautiful oxidized red rocks and the turquoise water that runs through it. But to get from the east side of Glacier to the west side of Glacier, you have to traverse the Going to the Sun Road. This road is epic and beautiful, and it was an engineering feat that took over 10 years to build, opening in 1933. It was the first trans-mountain scenic highway that connected the two sides of the park. So Kim and I jumped in her Toad, went to the St. Mary Visitor Center, and then drove the entire Going to the Sun Road.
Hi. What do you think, Jake? That's pretty, right?
We're going down.
Oh, babe. Oof, oof. To the right. Oh, yeah. God.
There are lots of scenic overlooks, but they are all full of cars. So we're just driving. Glacier blew my mind. I could spend an entire summer there. But unfortunately, I was headed up to Canada, so I only had a few more days. Kim had somewhere else she had to be, so I moved locations to the Duck Lake Campground, which is also a Blackfeet Reservation campground. My first stop was to take a hike to Sun Point at sunrise, and I didn't know this until I got there, but this is a major place for weddings. I saw 3 weddings while I was there, and the best part was when the wedding parties would kind of run into each other trying to get their photos done. After that, I went to take a boat tour of St. Mary Lake, but I had some work to do, and I had to sit in a sunny parking lot again to get some power. So I went to the marina where the boat was leaving from to do some work, and I was sitting in my van with the side door open and my desk right there. And while I was working on my computer, I heard a rustling noise, and I look out my window, and 30 feet from me was a massive grizzly bear. This is the first time I've ever seen a grizzly bear in the wild. And then when I looked again, I saw that she had 2 little cubs. What you might not know about Glacier National Park is it is the location of Night of the Grizzlies, which is a story from the 70s where a couple of people in 2 different camps were killed by grizzly bears. Now, back when these bear attacks happened, they actually would coerce the bears to come into these like auditoriums where tourists could come and see the bears eating junk food. Well, they did that because they wanted the tourists to come in. The problem was that when those resources got scarce, the bears were starving, and Night of the Grizzlies was the outcome. The mandate of the park now is to protect those bears, and I'm glad they did because it is amazing to see these things in the wild. Then I got on the St. Mary boat tour, which is a guided tour around the lake to a waterfall and then back out again. And this absolutely blew my mind. St. Mary Lake is known for the crystal turquoise blue waters that are created by the glaciers. Now, if you want to visit Glacier National Park and actually see some glaciers, you better get on it, because these glaciers that have existed in Glacier National Park for 7,000 years are estimated to be totally gone by 2030 because they're melting so fast. After I did the boat tour, I had to do a red bus tour. That's an iconic glacier thing. The red buses are a fleet of restored 1930s open air buses that have a history guide on board that takes you all over Glacier. You can take this along the Going to the Sun Road if you don't want to take your RV or your RV is too big. The red bus that I took picked me up inside the park, and we went back down to Two Medicine and the Kiyoyo Mercantile. And then I headed to the Canadian border, and I'll show you that in the next episode. I'm pretty excited right now because that's Montana and that's Canada. I'll see you guys then. Have a good day.